everyone, welcome back to Art a la Carte. I get a lot of requests to draw specific cats from a book series called Warrior Cats, because even though you guys give me tons of details on the characters, I'm a little reluctant to try to sketch them. So instead of taking a specific character, I want to teach you how to draw a couple of different types of cats, and then you can take the characteristics from that actual cat and be able to make your own character drawings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch out a couple of different basic cat shapes, and then we'll see how to put some different characteristics into these cats. Now, I recommend as you're drawing your cats, if you're not familiar with how to draw cats or you need a little bit of extra help, I do have a couple other videos where I take you through the step-by-steps on how to draw a cat, like standing and sitting and running and things like that. And I'll put a link to the playlist for how to draw cats in the description box below. I also recommend drawing from photographs or some sort of reference photo until you get really comfortable with the anatomy and the position. It just helps out a lot. Now quickly, as I am sketching these up, I'm just going to remind you, go for simple shapes and just don't worry about the details right now. So you'll see I'm just using lines and circles just to kind of represent the different body shapes. I'm not looking for hair direction or any distinguishing features. I'm just quickly sketching out those poses. For quick little helps on that, I'm using kind of a circle shape for the head, the chest, and the rump, and then just adding in just lines for the legs. I would recommend that you look at maybe some anatomy books to see kind of how the bones work for the legs. It'll really help you get the right position. So here I have 3 different sketches, and they're really, really light. I've used my Cool Erase color pencil in a blue to sketch them in, and we'll kind of look at them a little bit closer individually. But you'll see there's 3 different positions. I can also make 3 different cat body types. So here I have one just kind of sitting, looking off in this direction. I have a kind of a scared cat a little bit, and then I have a larger build cat, maybe a long hair or kind of just one of those beefier cats. So let's take a look and kind of do some specific kind of personalities. So I've just kind of got the basic shape going up here, and this is the part where you're going to want to correct anything. So right now I feel like the head is a little bit large. If I was drawing a younger cat, maybe a year-old or 2-year-old cat, drawing their head a little bit bigger would help give them that kind of youthful appearance. But if you're wanting your cat to be maybe a little older and wiser, try shrinking their head just a little bit, and that'll give them an older appearance. Vice versa, if you're trying to draw a younger cat, try enlarging their head just a little bit, and you'll see it kind of gives them a youthful look. So you'll see right now I'm kind of going back in and I'm just defining out my lines. I'm kind of letting, kind of figure out how the ears are going to go. And the thing with the ears is as you make these triangles, you want to have that little fold kind of come right in over top of there. So it kind of makes that little fold. And you can bring that fold down a little bit on the side of the face. And I'm going to find my center line of the face. So it's not looking, the cat's not looking directly at me, it's kind of looking off to the side. So I'm going to put this nice round curved line right in here. And this is the line where the 2 eyes, between the 2 eyes here. So I'm just going to block those in with some circles right there. And then I'm going to put a little muzzle shape right there. And so this is where the nose is. Now some cats, when they have their noses, will kind of have a little bit more dish shape to their nose. Some have more of a pronounced nose bridge. So you kind of have to decide on that type of cat. I'm going to give her just a little bit pronounced nose bridge. And then her nose is just going to be this little upside down triangle, very soft little triangle there. Now for the eyes, you're going to do this kind of weird rounded triangle almost. So you look here, this one comes up kind of almost flat. I would consider this kind of upper lid. And then it really curves down towards the corner of the eye. And then the bottom lid just curves from this bottom lid to this bottom lid. Makes a really good cat eye. Now depending on if you want to make more cartoony of cats, you might enlarge their eyes a little bit, but I'm going to make this one a little bit more realistic. Perhaps with some of the other cats, we will kind of do a little bit more cartoony look with them. Now if you want to do a short hair, you're going to not push out a lot of tufts around the cat's head, maybe just a little bit to kind of accent, to kind of let you know that there is fur and it's just not like a hairless cat. But you're not going to put in a lot of fur lines. Now I'm going to take my pencil, I'm just going to add a little bit of shading in the back part of this ear. It's going to push that ear in a little bit, add a little bit of dimension. And then you can put in the cat's eyes. Kind of just looking, chilling, looking things here. And then the muzzle is this kind of really flattened W shape. kind of coming up in the middle, but not exactly touching the nose. There's a line that comes down, but this point won't come all the way up. It kind of comes over a little bit, and then a line comes down to meet it. And then a little U shape underneath that for the bottom of the chin. That's about all you need. Now here's the chest hair here coming down, and we're just going to put just a little bit of line as it bends around the chest. Again, the more lines you put here, kind of zigzagging, the longer and thicker your cat's fur is going to be. I'm going to have a little indication of the chest right here, and I'm going to keep this relatively smooth. Again, if you want a thicker or longer haired cat, you would put some definite marks here, but I want a short hair cat, so not a lot of that. Now as we get to the back, so here's the shoulders coming down to the back legs, right in here. And you'll see it kind of starts a little thicker at the top, and then as it tapers down, you're not going to really see like any bulging, joints for where the bend. It's very smooth, but it tapers down just a little bit and then comes out to the paw. And you can put kind of like indications of where the little toes are on the paw there. Okay, and I'm just going to give some indication as to where this knee is. Usually with cat fur, their skin is really loose, and so you don't see the actual really good bend there too much. It usually just kind of envelops and over. And then the back leg here, kind of coming with some little toes there. And you'll see a little bit of the underbelly, and maybe just a little hint of the other paw back there. And then we'll continue out with the tail, which starts a little bit thick. Not too much. There's not a lot of tapering with the tail. Maybe just a little bit of hair movement on the bottom. Just like so. So there we go. We have our first kind of cat there, but it doesn't have a lot of personality. I need to put in her whiskers there. So if I was going to make a story of feral cats and I wanted this to be a character in one of my stories, I would want to do some things that would kind of give her some distinction. I would want to decide her personality, her position in the feral cat community. So let's think that this cat here is maybe kind of a matriarch. Maybe she is one of the older cats that has been around. She's had, a lot of batches of kittens. She's kind of wise. She's seen the world. She knows the way things run. Maybe she's one of the upper leaders of the clan. So I want to kind of indicate that. So I did that by giving her a smaller head to give her a little bit of age, but because she's a feral cat, she's going to have a little bit of battle damage. So this is where we're going to maybe add in a few scars, or as one of my cats had, she had a little chunk out of her ear. So I'm going to erase her ear a little bit. I'm just going to bring in with just a little chunk out of there. That'll give her a little characteristic. Also help your viewers, as they see this notch in her ear, they're going to go, oh, okay, I know that cat. And a lot of personality you can get by adding some color. So before I add a lot of color to this, I'm going to ink this drawing in really quickly. And now you can begin to add in some color. But you're going to notice that I inked in one of the pupils in her eyes, and I didn't do this one. And I want to show you how to do a really kind of blind cat eye look. But before I get to the eye, I'm going to add in the coloring of her pelt. You're going to want to start with your lightest tones first, and then build in your darker colors as they go. So I'm going to use this kind of mustardy brown color and kind of color in around her where I want some color. Also thinking of the white spots that might be on her, you'll just leave those kind of white. And you can use markers or crayons. I'm using Prismacolor pencils, but really you could use anything you want to. So here I put her base color in. Now you can go in with a little bit darker tone. I'm going to go in here with a little bit of orange. And I'm just going to scratch in a little bit of color here. So if you want to make her kind of an orange tabby cat, you can do that. I'm just going to put in some kind of little lines in here. At this point I'm going to take in a little bit of gray, and I'm just going to begin adding a little bit of shadow in here just to give her a little bit of dimension. And I'm just going to put that anywhere that I want to push back or round out. Things that are farther away, if I add a little bit of shadow, a casting shadow, kind of helps them to look a little bit more realistic. On this white part of her, you really want to, if you have a darker gray, like I'm using a pretty dark gray here, I'm going to use a very light hand because I don't want some super dark lines. I want to blend that in very, very gently. Now for her, I wanted to show you how to kind of make a blind cat eye look. For the regular eye, I'm going to take a darker shade. I'm going to use this nice green. I'm going to color that in. But for my other eye, I'm going to choose a lighter shade. So here I'm going with a lighter green. And I'm going to pull this in, and I'm not going to worry about really putting a pupil in there yet. just put that lighter shade. And then after I have that lighter shade in there, I might just give an indication very faintly to a pupil. And that's going to kind of help you get that kind of blind cat eye if you don't have a really dark pupil. Just very, very soft. You can also take your pink and add maybe some scarring here. So I'm going to put a little line up here, maybe a little line down here. And there we go. Our first cat is done. I think she turned out really good. I think she has a little bit of character, a little bit of mystery to her. You know, kind of I wonder what her story is. Now, as you can tell, I still have these two cats to do, but as I noticed, this video is already going to be super duper long. I went into a lot more detail than I kind of originally had planned, but it was really fun to kind of dig in there and tell you guys how to pull out some fun characteristics and give you some tips on coloring and shading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video now, and then I'm going to go ahead and do these two on another video, or another 2 videos depending on how much time I spend. Probably this is going to be a 3-part video. So this is just the first part. I will put a link to the other 2 videos when they're available in the description box below. Or if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll get notifications when I upload new videos so that you won't miss out on any of these. And I would love to see your drawings of your kind of cat stories. So whether they're based on the Warrrior Cat series or just out of your imagination, let me see them. So tag me in a picture either on Instagram or send me one on Facebook, or you can even send me one to my P.O. box. Would love to look at those, and I'll put all the information to those accounts also in the description box below as well. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye!